Hey everybody, Talls8 or Talls. I'm still not sure on how to do these intros, but that's how we're going with this one. So I'd like to go over all the patch notes because we recently had a huge patch buffing. I kind of want to show you first where you can see these, and then kind of go through each update here. They kind of hide everything with the patch notes and stuff. So you're going to want to go into latest news, and you're generally just going to have to scroll down. It's like really dumb. I don't even... It should be right here. Okay, so important news. This was on 117, so this was like a week ago. It'll say rebalancing. They generally hide this between all this friggin' garbage here. All this is garbage for the most part, but this is like what you as a player want to be looking at. So this is like a list of what they did, but I'm going to kind of go through everything one by one, segment it out. So for starters here, we're going to take a look at just these are some minor buffs. So inconsequential. So Adam now has a new special ability to where when he gives out his gold ability, you will enter an awakening. It's actually really good and important, because sometimes this can just make runs a lot smoother. Like you get out of awakening and you get put right back into it, those type of things. The other thing is Rin's face tile. I went over this in the anti-Rin video, but now when you're in extreme or awakening, it no longer consumes condition, which is really strong, because this tile is really strong and it always gives you an extra turn. So very solid overall. No complaints with these buffs. They're just generally all good. So the next characters we're going to take a look at are Borrow. So they did some growth buffs. You can look at all the new growths and stuff like that, but in the patch note thing, it'll show you what it is at max. I'm just noting that they did the growth buffs. Oh my god. But it just makes it easier for them to train. But basically, for example, Borrow V1 versus Borrow V2. Generally, the V2s and onwards have higher growths in certain stats at earlier ranks. That's just kind of their form of power creeping. Honestly, that'd be the best form of power creeping, but you've seen this game, so what am I talking about? Anyway, so the big things for Borrow here are training consumption is buff, or training condition consumption down is buffed to 10 at level 100. Currently, right now, since mine's 70, it's 7, so it's like 1 per like level after 40 at this point. And then, well, no, it's a little bit more than that. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then this part did not get buffed, but he did get a special ability to where when you get his gold skill, you can get up to 2 additional turns. And then he also got some tile buffs. These ones are actually decent tile buffs. If you have them at 100, these are decent, since it'll just make it so that your runs are a lot smoother. Plus his shoot has Demon of Shots, which is still meta, but it is slowly kind of weaving in and out. But the actual character who got really buffed, phenomenal support now, is Borrow V2 here, or Villain Borrow as some people call him. So, once again, his gold skill gives 2 AT, or up to 2. And it's the best gold skill still. Joker, it's called Joker. It's basically still like the best gold skill for shooters right now, outside of like FDOS. And then he got some new tile buffs. So no longer has the red tile, now has a tile that can give you extra turns, which is phenomenal. We love that. And then he's got the bright gold at 100. It's good. It's kind of more standard par for the course now for all the kick units to have that. Like, you'll kind of see that slowly but surely all of the kick units that used to have this black-red tile over here are now going to have this bright gold now. So that's kind of it for the borrow buffs. They're actually really big and like pretty useful. So yeah, let's kind of just move into the next characters. So we got the Devil, the Man, the Myth, Shido. He actually gets some crazy stuff here. So they removed his practice match bonus and they gave him special lecture specifically for the blue shot or the blue lock shot practice. And it gets to 80% at level 100. That is huge. I think he'll have like 100. Since I'm not on the account that has him at level 100, we can maybe look at it later, but I think he has about 120 special training total at 100. And then so he used to have at 65 a blue shot tile. Now it is the black-red one. So pretty good buff. And then they moved his bright gold to a bright red, which is, it takes a lot more condition, but it gets set 3 stages, so it's still pretty useful. Like overall, he's probably like 3rd best kick support now, just due to these buffs. Maybe 4th because Borrow kind of has the better skill, but he has a little weaker tiles. It's kind of however you really train. But yeah, Shido is like really solid right now. Even without Mitoma before coming out, he's still like really good. The next character to touch on, this one will be kind of quick. So his special lecture bonus goes up to, or he gets special lecture now. Yeah, they gave it to him, kind of like how they did with Loki, who didn't have it at 65. You get this now at 65, and I believe at 100 it goes to 70, but it might go to 70 earlier because I know it did that for Loki. Once again, turn extension when he gives his skill, really good. Training cards, he has the black green off the bat this time instead of Borrow. And then his level 100, he gets the same sort of tile as Shido there. Again, solid tiles. Honestly, puts him at a pretty decent spot if you were using him in like technical or kick runs. He's still not really better than X-Nagi per se at 100. Well, no, actually they're probably pretty comparable, but they're for 2 different things at this point. That could be a whole separate video, honestly, but Nagi V2 is actually pretty decent right now. He's got all those 3 core stats. This one goes to 70, whereas X-Nagi hasn't had that buff yet, so there's that to consider. So next, I want to talk about some slight buffs. Some of them are impactful, some of them not really. The Kunigami one really isn't that impactful. I don't know why I put it on that slide, but I guess the main thing is that he gets this special lecture rate. It's at 35% at 100. So at 65, mine's 70. It's like 19. He's got these shitty stamina tiles that are buffed. They're just better, I guess, but they're stamina tiles at the end of the day. The bigger one here is actually for Tokumitsu, who has his special lecture that he normally would get at 60 here. It starts at 30. Now it starts at 30, but before it started like a lot lower and would only go up to 35. Now it goes up to 70, so they doubled it, which is really good for him. And then they also made his level 100 tile a extra turn tile. So honestly, if you have him at 100, he's like pretty good. All things considered, like he's gonna be probably one of the better partners right now for physical runs. So yeah, I would definitely consider using him for training. And honestly, if you have him at 100, he's good to train because now he actually has some match skill links that you can use. So keep an eye out for him. He's pretty solid now. Now, this one, gotta give a drum roll here. we got the Shadow Goat, the Monk. All right, they gave him like way too many buffs, so he had to have a slide of his own. They just, I don't think he'll really ever get any other buffs after this. It's kind of a meme what most of these buffs are, but he'll now get special lecture bonus, and it goes up to 35%. So he's like still outdated in that regard. But if you have him at 100, training him's gonna be fucking easy. Gonna be so cake. So since he is the like only condition character, he's got that condition consumption down. That is now buffed to 10, like on Baro V1, and then he's got this condition recovery that. Yeah, so he used to have event stat bonus. So like anytime you would have like one of these training events pop up, you would get stats, right? That he used to multiply that. Now he just has recovery for it. It's like better. It honestly flows better with his kit now too, because his kit's like all freaking green tiles and a extra turn tile. Which honestly, I mean, if it was a flat physical, this one would be a way better tile. But no, it's a stam tile. He's got a lot of stam tiles, as you can see right here and here. If I had him at 100, I'd think he'd be like really easy to train. I still use him personally in my league matches. He's still very usable if you have the right team comp centered with him, mainly him and Shido. And obviously, if you have him on 100, this makes it makes training him like exponentially easier. Do not use him as a training partner. Just do not. Don't be fooled. Don't use him. He's a meme, but he's a good meme. Great player. Anyway, off of that, some actual pretty strong ones here to go over are. So Dada now gets at 65. He now gets some special lecture bonus. Unfortunately, he only caps at 35% at 100, which is so dumb. And then they buffed his regular exercise machine tile to this black-green one. This is a decent buff. It makes it so like one of the struggles with physical for a while was like you were kind of only hitting like really juicy like bright gold tiles. And so you just lose stamina or like lose condition so fast in runs. So they've kind of decided with physical to like give a lot more of these green ones back. So it's pretty good. And fun fact, I don't have RU on this account. So what they did for RU was they gave him a bright gold exercise machine tile here, and then some special extra at 65. I've been using him on the other account, the Tall 7 account that you guys have seen. In training, he's actually pretty solid now that he's got that special lecture, because he has like a huge amount of special training and huge amount of special training and lecture rate. So it honestly kind of rounds him out. I wish it was a little higher. If it was at that 70, he'd actually be really good. But unfortunately, I don't know if we're ever going to see that 70 on him. So he is a lot better now. And for reference, the skills that you can get on his tiles are so you can get greedy and stretchy, which are really phenomenal for physical defenders, since you can get second ball rate, possession, and then stretchy will help you block shots. So yeah, overall, like he is a lot more solid now as a training partner than he was like a couple weeks ago. He was like, on the other account I have him at 100. I wasn't even using him. He was so bad. It was just miserable using him in runs. Like even with the lecture rate, I was like, I'll just take anything else that has like a little less lecture rate. Like it's better than him. The only thing he's missing now is like extra turn. Both of these guys are missing extra turns now, so it's kind of cooked in that regard. Anyway, moving on to the next characters, we got Kuni V2 and Raichi V1. I want to make a disclaimer on Raichi V1 because these are really strong, obviously, on a character that was considered one of the best in slots for physical. His V2 should be coming out within the next month. So if you haven't maxed him, do not try to max him, or really don't put too many levels into him, because you'll kind of just, like, if you have him at, like, I would maybe get him to 80 at the most because they'll give him some special lecture bonus. But that's about it. Like, I would not go past that. I mean, the big thing here is that he gets those turn extensions now, too. So on top of having two bright gold tiles, he's just, like, a lot more solid to train with for, like, the next couple weeks. But the real standout of the patch, and this is probably the biggest buff in the entire patch, is the Kuni V2 buffs. So this is my 65 Kuni V2. Currently, beforehand, he used to have like maybe like friggin' 10% special lecture at this level. Now he's got 44 at 65, which is crazy. This is such a crazy spike for physical and even just kick runs in general. They give him constant physical boost, which it goes up to 10% at 100. That's phenomenal. He gives extra turns out when he gives his skill. And then these tile buffs are insanity. So they gave his Black Red, which was initially on his level 100 tile. Now it's his level 50 tile. And now his level 100 tile is a bright purple tile that can also give you extra turns. Phenomenal buffs all around. I've been loving training him recently. All the fizz buffs on my other account have been so much smoother. This actually also, hugely enough, makes it so that, like, if you have an Adam that is 65 plus, you can train your Adam now. Kuni lets you train Adam now, like, because he gives you the extra turns. We also just got a new SSR that buffs physical even more. So, like, yeah, the Kuni buffs make it so that you can actually start training Adam at 65. It's not going to be amazing runs. Like, I can show you kind of, mine's 100 though, so it's going to be a lot different, but like, see, I was able to hit 1 million on mine with this team comp, which, again, this account has had a little, like, a lot more investments and things like that, and some, like, decent pulls, but, like, as you can see, none of the SSRs are maxed, only 2 max character, or technically 3 max characters, but yeah, you can definitely get a solid Adam run in now with this character. So it just, we love this buff. It's so good. So in the next buffs, so this is the last character buff before we transition into the SSRs here. But so we got a Gaga V1 or Gaga Hondamaru. We got a Hondamaru buff because remember they kind of made Honda mixed with Gaga. That's why he's got all these kick tiles. So first, when you train with him now, before he used to only give cross pass master, which was not good for training forwards, because it would cause your forwards to more likely pass. And yeah, we don't want that. Now they also, I think they get both now. I haven't trained with him, unfortunately, regrettably so. It's my bad, but I believe he gives out both. But Egos is good. I think I've talked about it before, but it just greatly boosts stats for your forward once they get the ball and score. They also gave him special lecture rate. This is the one thing he was missing. I mean, before, Gaga was basically like, unless you had him at level 80, he was miserable using to train because he didn't have the special lecture. He was just a bundle of stats. Now he's got that special lecture that goes up to 70. And mine's at 70, and you can see it's at 46% already. So even then, it makes him so he's usable, like, in training compositions now. Once you get him at 65, and then at 80, he gets special training and lecture rate. So, like, at 100, he's actually one of the better. Like, he's like really solid now. The only shortcoming that he has is that, unlike Nagi V2, X Nagi, and Shido, he only has the bright gold. So he might not make the cut on your runs, just kind of due to that. Due to the tile difference and, like, maybe what kind of skills you're aiming for. Because Swing play and striker are a little bit more specific to work with. So next I want to go into the SSRs, and dear God, I hope I have all these SSRs. So a lot of these are going to be at level 1 because I do not level a lot of these, but we'll kind of speed run these. So he used to have condition recovery. Now it's special lecture. It goes up to 60 at 100. At level 60, it's 30%. Really solid off the gate. At 5-3, which is generally when you get your ability on SSRs, you enter Awakening, like with Adam. Bang, really strong. At 100, now has the extra turn tile. So if you did max this card out for some reason, wait. Did they? They reported that wrong in the patch notes. Whatever. Whatever. I guess they didn't. That must be a bug. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it's more solid. If you had it maxed, it's like fine. If you have to use it, you have to use it. It's still pretty mediocre though. The real buffs though are going to be with Rin V1 here. This is one of those premium cards that was used really early on because it was able to get lecture rate, special training, and then at 80 it would get special lecture. Now, and so before when you would max at 100 you get 35%, and now you get 70. So it's actually a lot more in line with what we need with cards now. And at 100 you get this the purple tile. So honestly, makes this card a lot better, and it does give the defense compatibility, and it has a fortitude, and it has amazing might in it. So it does have a lot of strong skills that you do want generally. If you were making a midfielder, like a midfielder physical player, then obviously like you kind of lose like a skill slot if you get defense compatibility, but do remember it gives extra turns still. So overall, still really honestly much better now. Like a good card is now much better, so more in line with what we needed, I guess is the best way of putting it. And then we have Henri V2 here. I call it V2 because this is the second one released. So training program. Once again, this special lecture now is much better. At 100, it goes up to 70 now, so much more in line with what we want. And then the big thing is that the level 50 tile is one that gives extra turns now, but I do want to note she's really weird skill-wise. The card is a lot better now, and I think a lot of people use it in their runs. It's mainly due to the constant physical boost here, but I do want to note that the skills you get from this card on the exercise machine tiles are not great. The better ones are here for some reason. I don't know why Fortitude is on the mental imagery one, but that's where it's at. And then this card also has special break. So it's not giving any extra turns outside of the 50 tile here, and those are all chances, but it's still overall like a welcome addition. Next up, these are the last two buffs. They are trying to buff the trash, and I get to show you something funny here. I can make this trash level 60 if I really wanted to, which I don't, but anyway, what they decided to do was they removed the event stat boost, and they added special lecture. I think this is actually at freaking 80. This is how bad this card was, is that it had event stat boost at 80. All right, like what the heck? So they did that. It goes up to 35%, and then you get a nice black-green tile at 100. This card's terrible. You get black-green tile on like a Dada level 50, all right? This card is terrible. No use talking about it anymore because the video is already like 25 plus minutes. And then the last one is one-on-one here. Again, garbage card. I need to preface this. This card is not good, all right? Like, it only really has lecture rate. They added condition recovery because that's what it needed. So yeah, and the special ability, I believe, doesn't really So the special ability now lets you go into Awakening, and then the other one is like if you train Borrow V2 with it, but Borrow V2 wants like technical and kick, and this card gives you physical and kick. It's really bad. Basically, they made the black-red into a black-green. They made the black-gold into a black-green, and then they made the gold into a green. It's just a condition. It should just be labeled as a condition card. Like, it is just... I don't know why it's a physical card. This is just a condition card. This should be the only other condition card. Only other condition thing in the game next to the monk. Alright, anyway, so that's pretty much kind of it. Lots of huge buffs. Physicals, it's not better. It's not completely better to train, but this patch helped out quite a bit. And once again, like I said, you're generally going to want to check latest news when you get like a download update, and you'll see all these all the stuff in here. You'll have to scroll. And I'm only doing this for this part of the video because I just want to make sure I didn't... Oh, wait, never mind. I guess they just never changed. I'm just an idiot. Alright, whatever, that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I still don't know how to end these videos. Rate, comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.